How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and today I am very excited for this video. For the first time in quite a while, probably almost a year, I have a really like a large scale PSA return. It's not 4, 5, 6 cards or something. I have a good PSA return. I got 2 boxes here. This is my June value order. So I paid $30 per card to grade these cards. They came back, I want to say maybe about a month ago, but I just am getting, I'm just getting them in my possession and able to record a video showing off the cards. So I'll link the submission video in the iCards in the top right corner if you want to go take a look at that, see what I thought these cards would grade. But here we go. We got the PSA box. We got all of these cards. So I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, it's 23 cards that I have. So really excited for this. 23 awesome cards. As with all of my PSA direct submissions, I do know the grades for these. I can't really bring myself to avoid looking at them before they arrive, but this is the first time that I am showing these off. I have one more submission coming in where I won't know the grades. That's my December 2020 Ludkin submission, which is on its way back finally. But this submission, this value submission, was really good. There's a lot of awesome cards in here, so without any further ado, let's get into it. First card I sent off, Altimere's Latios. I sent off 2 sets of each of these, and I was really happy with the grades. I think I was expecting 9 and a 10 of each, and that's exactly what I got. First, Altimere's Latios here achieved the Mint 9, while the second, I was lucky enough to get the Gem Mint 10. Just look at the holo pattern on these cards. Truly incredible. I always love these sort of preview cards that they would do in Japanese of the next generation's Pokemon in the old generation's style. They did this with the Altimere's Latios. They did this with a couple Lucario EX cards. And like and I think like Mime Jr. cards as well, and Bonsley cards. So pretty interesting to see that. I always like seeing that kind of mishmash of Pokemon and art style. So yeah, really happy with this. We got the 9 and the 10 on the Latios, and then we got another 10 and 9 on the Latias. You can just see beautiful swirls. This holo pattern is next level. Yeah, really amazing. And if you weren't aware of the connection between the Altimere's Latios and the Latios is in the bottom corner of the Latias, and the Latias is in the upper left corner of the Latios artwork. So these are basically in the same scene. They're just viewed from 2 different directions, which is awesome. So these are huge cards. These are cards I've always wanted. I think I cracked a deck. I'm not sure exactly. I hope the 10s came from the deck I cracked. But, you know, regardless, I have both cards in a 10 now. And that's really exciting. And I have an extra 9 set as well. Next up, we got a Zapdos holo from Town on No Map. This got a PSA 9. Not really sure why. You know, maybe some very light wear here and there. But yeah, I thought this would grade a 10. I was a little disappointed that it did not do so. But it's still a beautiful card. Amazing Hajime Kusahima artwork. Just fantastic. The 9 on the Zapdos is certainly made up by this, a 10 on this beautiful Itsuka Nishida Entei, Wind from the Sea. Just amazing. Again, that holo pattern is next level. This card looks so good. So really happy with this. A 10 on this card, fantastic. I do not really collect a lot of E-Series cards, but I was purchasing them goodness, I think just when they came up, because I thought they were fairly, you know, good buys. You got beautiful cards for really not a lot of money. And I did pretty well, as you can see. I got a 10 on the Suicune as well. I think I have Raikou off in my $18 submissions. Those are coming back soon as well. I do know the grades for those, won't spoil them just yet. You'll have to watch the video to find out. But hopefully we can get the trio, because I submitted Raikou as well from Split Earth. But we got the Entei 10, we got this beautiful Suicune 10, first edition. Again, that holo pattern is so good. So really, really happy with that. Next up, I was a little disappointed in this card, a Mewtwo EX, which came back a PSA 8. Yeah, so I'm not really sure why. The back seemed pretty clean. I don't know if there was maybe some hollow scratches or something, or maybe some light wear along this edge that dropped it down. So really not sure why we got the 8 on this, but you know, in every PSA submission, there's some grades that you don't necessarily agree with. There's some grades that perhaps graded higher than you expect. But this Mewtwo is still a beautiful card in whatever grade, you know, it's still a near mint to mint condition card, and really happy to have this one back. So yeah, we're moving into the Japanese EX cards. I didn't send off too many. The bulk of those went into my $18 submissions, but there are a few here. Next up, we got a Suicune from Magma vs. Aqua. I was expecting this card to get a 9 just because of the centering. As you can see, it is off left to right. The back is very clean, but I thought, you know, might as well send it in. Sometimes PSA is lenient on the centering. But looks like they did catch this card and bumped it down to the 9 grade. Very, very fine with that. I think that's a fair grade for this card. And another one that I am extremely happy about. We got 1 9 on the Suicune, but we got a 10 on another. And that is so amazing. This card is one of my favorite EX cards. This artwork is so incredible. Ryu Ueda, fantastic art. Just incredible. Suicune walking on water, the reflection there, just so good. Definitely, yeah, one of my favorite EX cards, one of the most valuable EX cards, both English and Japanese, for a good reason. This is an amazing card, and to have it in first edition PSA 10, really, really happy about that. Continuing on with the EX cards, another amazing one, Rockets Articuno EX PSA 10 from the Silver Deck Kit. This was a card that I've been after for a very long time. I cracked a Silver Deck Kit many years ago, but unfortunately the Rockets Articuno was not in the best condition. It had some, you know, just pack fresh kind of, or deck fresh kind of issues. So unfortunately, I was not able to get the 10 on that one, but many, many years later, I was able to get the 10 on a different copy. This has a really interesting double hollow pattern. You can kind of see that it has this kind of, I guess, like snowy fleck hollow, in addition to the standard kind of galaxy foil, which is very, very nice. Really makes this card stand out. And I'm getting there on the Rockets EX cards. I obviously have all of the set-based ones in PSA 10, but I'm still picking up cards here and there to fill out the entirety of the Rockets set. I think I still need probably stuff like the Persian. I think that's probably the only one, and the hollow one of that is a really expensive card. All right, next up, Gem Mint 10 Ho-Oh EX. We are knocking it out of the park on these Japanese EX cards. We are hitting some huge 10s, which is really, really exciting. Most of these cards I do already have in 10, but the Rockets Articuno was new. The Suicune, that was a duplicate, thankfully. But yeah, another 10 on this Ho-Oh EX Unlimited Edition. Really, really nice. Awesome Mitsuhiro Rita art when Mitsuhiro Rita was experimenting with kind of more 3D CG kind of images in the EX series. But I really like this style of art, even though it's kind of non-traditional in terms of an Arita art. But yeah, 10 on that Ho EX is just incredible. Next up, the final EX series card, we have Dragonite EX from Dragon Frontiers. This came back with the 9 grade. These are incredibly hard to grade. 10s are almost unheard of. 9s fairly standard on these cards. Centering is a main issue. I think this one had some very, very tiny edge wear along the top edge. Can barely even see it, even under my lights here. But this card is still really, really nice. I might resubmit it at some point, but even a 9 on a card like this is nothing to scoff at. This is fantastic. And thankfully I did already have this in a 10, so this was just an attempt at a duplicate. But very, very happy with the 9 on the Dragonite. All right, moving into the black and white era, I sent off a lot of black and white ultra rares, and we got some very, very awesome grades. These ultra rares are getting harder and harder to find. I'm very glad that I purchased a lot of them when I did. First up, we got Archeops from Dark Rush, which came back with the Gem Mint 10 grade. Really happy about this. Not one of the more exciting ultra rares, but I am going for a full set in 10. So you got to get them all. And these have beautiful texturing. It's kind of a little difficult to catch it in the light here, but you can see that we have both the fighting embossed symbol here and Archeops is textured, which is really, really nice. So very happy about that. Archeops, Gem Mint 10. Next up, we got Embor, Mint 9. Not really sure why this got a 9. The centering is a little bit off, but on the back, I really don't see much. Maybe a tiny little ding in a corner down there, but this card is really, really clean, and the 9 did surprise me, so I might resend this card at some point. But, you know, I'm more than happy with taking a placeholder 9 in the collection for now. Again, these cards are so hard to find, especially in mint condition these days, and they've gotten a lot more expensive from when I started purchasing them. You know, all shiny Pokemon cards, except for like the Shiny Star V baby shinies. Like the really rare ones have really gone up in value. So it is hard to, you know, find something that you thought, oh, this is going to be a relatively easy collection goal, not super challenging, and then all the prices just go to oblivion. But next up, this is what I'm really happy about. Chandelure from Hail Blizzard scores the Gem Mint 10. This is an incredible card. Really, really happy about this. I love the shiny Chandelure. This is a huge, huge card. One of the more expensive ultra rares outside of like the massive ones like Rayquaza and Blastoise and Charizard. Chandelure is a very expensive one, so really happy that we got the 10 on this one. Next up, we got 2 copies of, I'll show them off together. Really happy about this. We got 2 Zoroarks in a 10. And this is kind of surprising because this, I could not find this Zoroark for a long time when I was searching. I've been buying these black and white ultra rares for probably about, I want to say like 2-ish years. And I did not find any Zoroarks really until like this year. But the ones that I have found have all graded 10. So now I have 3 PSA 10 Zoroarks. So if anyone is out there and has copies of ultra rares that I need in a 10 and wants to trade for a Zoroark, let me know, because I'll be looking to leverage these in some way to acquire cards that I need for my collection. But yeah, 2 10s on Zoroark. This is really, really exciting. Again, these cards are very, very hard to find in strong mint PSA 10 quality condition. You know, most of them are getting up, you know, around 10 plus years old now, which is crazy to think about. The black white era is 10 plus years old, but that's what it is. Can't argue with the date. So mint 9 on the Sigilif. I think this was because it was off center, top to bottom. Back seemed really clean. So I think I have another Sigilif off in perhaps my December 2020 submission. I've forgotten like 90% of the cards that I sent in that because it's been 2 years. But this 9 on the Sigilif, pretty fine. I agree with that, probably just because of the centering. If this was a 10, I wouldn't think it was a misgrade, but you know, it's one of those cards where it's on the edge, 9, 10. Next up, got an Altaria 9. Love this card. Thankfully, I do already have it in a 10. Tried to score another on this in this submission, but we did not get the 10, unfortunately. I think, you know, the centering's off, and I think there was some perhaps minor wear. Yeah, you can just see some minor wear on the back there in that corner. So 9, a very fair grade for this card, in my opinion. So very happy with that. Now on to the last couple cards. Virizion from Megalocannon scored the mint 9. Again, I think this is because of centering, the top to bottom centering. Left-right is a little bit off as well, but certainly that top to bottom centering, you can see the top border is much smaller than the bottom border. I think this one was very clean otherwise. Yeah, I can't really see any visible wear like I saw in the Altaria on the Virizion, but you know, I think, again, I have additional copies of this off in either my $18 subs or my, you know, very old bulk from December 2020. Still, I can never get over the fact that it's been almost 2 years since I sent off that submission. All right, second to last card here, Terrakion, Gem Mint 10. Really happy about this. Really happy to score a 10 on one of these gold ultra rares. You can really see how awesome these cards are in the light. The gold really pops when you get the right lighting on it. It is very hard to, you know, sometimes you see these cards and they look like this, right? They look super flat. They look kind of boring. But once you get them in the light, they really come to life, and it is amazing. So really happy about the 10 on this Terrakion. Huge fan of this card. And yeah, it adds to the collection, which we always love. And last but not least, the one kind of modern card that I sent off in this $30 submission. It is the Japanese Umbreon and Darkrai Tag Team GX Special Art. I love this card. Darkrai, one of my favorite Pokemon, so I always wanted to pick up this card, and was very happy when I got it at a fairly reasonable price, I think probably last year. And now we have it in the collection in the Gem Mint 10 grade. Tag Team Special Art's very expensive now, but luckily enough, I was able to snag this in PSA 10. So that is going to do it for this $30 value submission. Really happy with the grades on this. I think turnaround time was about 3 months. So right in line with what PSA said when they opened up the value tier. So yeah, really happy about this. An amazing submission. Got a lot of fantastic new cards for the collection. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for hopefully very soon a lot more PSA return videos.